Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. How is everyone doing? Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, George. Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Sterling. So, let's see here. Let's see. What will stop the rally? Well, probably nothing coming out today. And by reading rally, I don't mean a slight pullback. I mean what will turn this thing around. We've hit some of our ABC potential targets, but that doesn't mean it has to stop. So we got Red Book, which came out just 10 minutes ago. Then we got Jolt's job openings. It's highlighted red, but it's a minor number, but it will be interesting to see. Forecast 10.8, consensus 10.4, prior 10.8. So it'll be interesting to see if that pops up or down. Factory orders. Factory orders also coming out at 30 minutes after the opening. Jolt's job quits, blah, blah, blah. Fed Cook's speech at 12:30 Central, so during lunch, and then Mester after the close. But I doubt they'll say anything. The market hasn't reacted to anything yet. Besides, hey, employment's still strong. We're still on our path to fight inflation. And the market's like, yeah, you're going to cut. So the only thing then this week, we got some more ISM numbers tomorrow. We got the initial and continuing jobless claims Thursday. But we have unemployment. Remember, NYSE is closed on Friday, and we got the unemployment numbers. Now, the futures are still open, okay, for Good Friday, but that's the only thing that could potentially, I don't know. There's just nothing right now. You see pretty Tesla up, Amazon up. There's a little pullback again. Oil still firm, but more green than red. Let's just refresh this. Real estate, really, and consumer cyclical leading the charge higher. Not really a charge today, more of a move. It was a pretty decent move overnight. Fed watch still now close to 60% for the rate hike in May. Rate hike in May or rate hike in June, both, running around the 60% level, and then the cut cycles begin. So market really not buying what the Fed is selling. Fear and greed right on the verge of neutral greed. If we stay up today, it will be back into greed mode. Current value market valuation, again, fairly upwards and fairly valued. By the way, this market, when I say it's priced for perfection, like no recession, no earnings decline. Earnings projections are still very lofty. They've pulled in a little. And we're trading at over 22 times current PE. So this is lofty. This is priced for perfection. But that doesn't mean it can't keep going. That's what we're in positive gamma territory. The gamma flip is roughly 4107, so 4100 on any pullback is key. Still, very little put play until below 4,000. Not much going on. Minor around 4,100, very minor, but more significant around 4,000. So there is not much. But remember, on these rallies, the dealers have to sell into it besides zero-day expiration options. In terms of earnings this morning, there was nothing after the close. There is nothing. All right. So good afternoon, Charles. Good morning, Anissa. Good morning's Options 22. Have fun in Alaska, Chris. All right. So we've hit the normal target for ABC correction, A, B pullback, C. We hit another harmonic, and we've reconnected with the 87.5. And we're back to the high area from beginning of February. Other than that, we blast through 4171, 4195, and then 4208. Now, the only thing that could derail this, it would get interesting because it would invalidate that ABC correction if we did get a close up here above this high. But other than that, that is where we sit. So we are very overextended from the rotation zone and overbought with cycles at the top. What do we have? We don't. This is like a little, these patterns, you know, it's climbing this little wall, but on a pullback, I'm going to be just focused on this 4-hour rotation zone around 4150. And then on the bigger forward pullback, closer to 4100, just in front of 4100. Really, I'd probably be about 4124. And then we get into the little mini clear path move. Other than that, and those wouldn't even be big pullbacks. See, on the daily, 4124. I mean, you really need to get back to 4100 to even reconnect with the daily rotation zone. So, going to be watching for a pull on the prowl for a pullback, but again, it's from my perspective, it is in trailing mode, and I'm really focusing on today's lows first and foremost on any down move 41.47, so 41.47 to 41.50. If we do break higher, 41.94. Minor levels, this is even tough. There's not even great pausing action. There's not even great pausing action. So that's where this gets tough from that. The only thing is this is a potential little mini double in the NASDAQ for reconnecting with the 87.5. But 13,154 needs a close below that and would only pull back possibly to 13,000. Where does that take us on the daily? Back to the rotation zone. And by the way, it's a lower probability one since it is against the rotation zone. But my primary target would be 13,082 to 13,100. That's it. Other than that, next target, 13,401. So 13,400. Dow on a pullback, 33,700, and then about 33,585. We'll be watching today if we do close above 33,883 for a close above the 62.5. The next key target is 34,078 on a strong rally. But again, watching that 4-hour rotation zone. And the major support is back at about 33,450 to 33,500. Russell, also, this is technically a double top, needs a close below 1793.3, and it is the lower probability variety. Still, it's coming in. This is against the 4-hour rotation zone still, but it gets at least out of the way. It's a little choppy. There's no clear path. But that's the pullback with the potential pullback to 1763. Remember, Russell's the first thing I'm looking at on rollover plays because it's been the weakest. And that would just take us back to a prior key harmonic and into this consolidation it just broke out of back on Friday. VIX, virtually no fear. Only going to pop up and take notice if we really start getting above 20. DAX hit the next harmonic. Again, overbought, but we're getting some divergences. Next target is 15,996. On any pullback, key support 15,660. So nothing there. Again, there's very few good trading setups right now. Notes, nothing unless the potential double is still on the table, but we had the rotation up, just pulling back slightly to a rotation zone. So no, nothing really going on here. Nothing with the yields either. Nothing with the yields. Crude, let's get dollar index. Trying to put in a short-term pause here. Still holding above these lows. We might get some setups going for tomorrow, but not much just yet. Just trading against the breakdown level you see here. Support with confirmed resistance, and now still trading below that. So only going to really watch the dollar index if it gets above 101.80. Crude continuing to march higher. This is a potential double. Got to change the targets. but it would need a close back below roughly 79. Other than that, the next target's higher. Again, it is in trailing mode. The next major target area higher, you can already see 83.95 to about 84.35. I don't even need to do reverse harmonics on here because that's the next key target area. Let's just do them for grins. Let's just do them for grins. So next minor target would be 83. Natty gas, you do still have the potential double, but not close to triggering yet. Gold still holding against this key resistance. If it does start to get above 2005, 2016, and then 2040 is the next major level. Another thing I'm keeping an eye on now is the 10-year JGBs. This is a pretty strong move, a breakout move. This was the banking crisis downdraft, or was it called the banking crisis? But I think this is gonna hit 50 again, and then we'll see what gets interesting in consolidation. So no great plays there unless we get, from my perspective, unless we get above 133.80 or start getting below about 132.20 with some momentum. Euro, again, nothing. These pound broke above major resistance coming in on the area of the next harmonic. So pound very strong, fighting off these overbought levels and cycles pinned to the top. Something's got to shift soon. Bitcoin consolidation. Still watching for that breakdown play, but need it to get below 26,670 area. Tesla, double still in place. Slight gap up today. If it rolls over 194.85 would be the first target. Support coming in about 191. When are earnings on this? The 19th of April. Okay. Let's do the spiders and the Qs. Not soy. We don't want soy. We want the spideys. Gap up. Next key target 414. Nothing's changed, Roy, since yesterday. 414.15. On any pullback, the first target would be 410.95. 410.95. Again, you do have a sort of a minor little topping pattern right here to keep an eye on. It is against the rotation zones, but it's something to keep an eye on. Below 408.43. First thing would be the gap fill, then 408.33, but there's pretty major support at 409. 409 has pretty major support. So gap fill 409, and then the potential little mini double on a rally up 414. The Qs. The Qs. Pretty much 320.67, 320.15 would be the little pullback area. The little pullback area, yeah, that would be a potential double. Against the rotation zone, so it would need a close below 317.42 into the rotation zones. I don't have to keep repeating myself with lower probability. Wrong one. I wanted to take off the harmonics. On a push up, 322.77. Boring, boring, boring. Where do we sit? Nothing else might. How the market's been not very, more like They've been You know, breadth hasn't been great. It's more of its, if we look at the volume, look at the volume. Look at the volume on the down move still. I mean, even compared to these push-up and reversals here, then you got a little volume here, but this is very subpar volume. And just keeps on marching on up. Even then, you see the sell days are still higher. We have not had major, I mean, this is holding in with these last couple of pullback days, but you compare it to earlier in the year, It's just lower volume climbing it. You have a bunch of stuff way extended from its 20-day moving average, which is a nice little metric to watch for when you have like 80% of stocks in the S&P overextended from their 20-day moving averages. So that's another thing, but the short-term top does not mean the major top yet. Remember, we're coming back into key breakout areas on anything. So the market's just not afraid. The market's, hey, that's what's going on. DFS, and then we'll wrap this up. I mean, I'm not going to, there's not much. DFS triggered a double. Yeah, it's good job watching that against the rotation zones. Because this is why it barely triggered. Did it? 98.83. 98.84 by a penny. Yeah, so we'll see. You can really, if it does get a move above that rotation, I'd really focus on, if you're structuring reward to risk, this is where I'd focus. Not only is it the stop reduction target, but it's a really strong key area with that 200. Thanks for pointing that out, Sterling. All right, I will be back after the close. We will see if today turns eventful at all. Remember, we've hit the key levels for the ABC corrections. I'm just going to pull that off right now. Oops. If I could hit the right level. But let's see if it can stop this market or not. I shall talk to everyone later. Bye for now.